breaking bread. Come to the table. Let's break bread together. Yeah.
We are the body, one loaf, one mission, every color, every creed, no division. Family gathered, hands held, prayer whispered low. Breaking bread together, watch the blessings grow. Breaking bread. Breaking bread. Bread. Breaking barriers. Sharing weight. No carriers. Hands out, knees bent, every penny heaven sent. Yeah, we breaking bread.
Yo, I stepped out the crib, had a hole in my stomach. Not just for food, but for purpose. Where do I run it? The rent due, the light off. The struggle keeps knocking, but the manna still falls. The promise is locking. See, the Father's the chef, and he serves up the best. Said, fear not the hunger, I'm putting you to the test. Took 5 small loaves and 2 small fish on a platter. Fed 5,000 souls, told them only faith matters. So we breaking the crust, not just because we are able, but because there's always a space at his table. If your cupboard is bare, lift your chin, watch the sky. He's the bread of all life, and he'll never run dry. We breaking bread, breaking barriers. Yeah, the vision is done. Pull up a chair, send a saint. Every daughter and son, from the pauper's plate to the patter's raw, we link arms and we eat. That's the power of the gospel where our spirits meet. The table is wide, the welcome is warm, the grace is amazing. Every piece of the loaf is a reason for praising. So let the walls fall down, let the gossip cease flowing. If you come to this table, the love must be showing. We are one body, one spirit, one Father above, and we seal a whole deal with the language of love. We study ourselves, approved unto God, that a workman need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, knowing that the bread of Christ need no butter.
Breaking bread. Breaking barriers, sharing weight, no carriers. All out, knees bent, every penny heaven sent. Yeah, we breaking bread. Bread, breaking barriers, sharing weight, no carriers. Hands out, knees bent, every penny heaven sent. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody doing well today. Welcome to Breaking Bread. We become to study ourselves approved unto God, that a workman need not be ashamed, but to rightly divide the word of truth, knowing that the bread of Christ need no butter. I hope everybody having a blessed day today. I hope everything is well with your family and friends and close ones. Um, I want to talk about today about God protects beyond the gates. Now, when I say God protects beyond the gates, I'm talking about how He cover you in the midst of everything that you go through. Whatever trial, whatever test, whatever circumstances, whatever issues that may come your way, God is able to protect you. Sometimes it seems like He may not be with you, but God is always with you because He loves you and He wants to protect you. And so today we're going to talk about that God protects beyond the gates. God protects beyond the gates. So we're going to look at a passage today, and I'm not going to be before you long, but we're going to look at Joshua 2, and we're going to talk about some things here that I think was really interesting to me as I did my study about God protects beyond the gates. So we're going to read this passage. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we're just going to read Joshua 2, and I think we're going to read from verses um, 1 through, we're going to read verse 1, and then we're going to read 1 to 4, and then we're going to read, we're going to go down a little bit, and we're going to read verses 10 through um, 14, okay? So we're going to read 1 through 4, and we're going to read 10 through 14, okay? So I'm going to pull this up real quick. All right. And this is what it says here. Okay? It says, and Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men secretly from Shittim as spies, saying, go view the land, especially Jericho. And they went and came into the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, behold, men of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land. Then the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, bring out the men who have come to you, who entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, true, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. And let's go down to verses 10 to 14. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you devoted to destruction. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and there was no spirit left in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. Now, now then, please swear to me by the Lord that as I have dealt kindly with you, you also will deal kindly with my father's house, and give me a sure sign that you will save alive my father and my mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death. And the men said to her, our life for yours, even to death. If you do not tell this business of ours, then when the Lord gives us the land, we will deal kindly and faithfully with you. All right. So we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about that God protects beyond the gates. And what I like about this story here is that in Joshua 1, the Lord had already given the children of Israel the land. And so if you go to verse chapter 1, the Lord said this to um, Joshua. He said this in Joshua 1, verses um, let's see, verse 5. Joshua 1, verse 5. The Lord told Joshua this: no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land that I swore to their fathers to give them. So the Lord is already with them. Joshua is the leader of the children of Israel. Moses has already died, and so now Joshua is in charge. Now the Lord told him that he already possessed the land. So all he had to do is go take it. Go take it. I'm going to be with you. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. Go over there and possess the land. So the Lord already gave him the land. He already gave the people the land. But you see in Joshua 2 that Joshua, the son of Nun, sent secretly two men to Shittim. Now, why would Joshua send two men when the Lord already gave them the land? Does it seem like that Joshua is doubting God? Of course not. Joshua is not doubting God by sending these two men. He is sending them two men to see what is going on. He's sending the two men to check out this place. He told them to go check out this land, and especially Jericho. And this is the reason why Joshua sent the two men secretly, so the people would not know the plan that God has for him to do. So one thing is that when God protects you, you can't tell everybody what God is calling you to do. Sometimes you have to remain silent so it won't stir up no commotions, no doubts, no issue. Joshua was a smart, strategic military leader. And so Joshua secretly sent them two men on a recon mission to scout out the land and see what's going on in that area. But he also told them, especially go to Jericho. So why Jericho? What's so important about Jericho? The thing behind Jericho is that it is the gateway. If you want to enter into the land of Canaan, you have to go through Jericho. Jericho was a fortified city, and it sits right in the wedge, right in the middle between the northern part of Canaan and the southern part of Canaan. And Jericho is right there. So Joshua is going to send these two men to go beyond the gates and find out the mindset of the people, because it was a gateway city. It was heavily fortified. It was guarded by watchmen. It was a place where everybody goes because in order to get into Canaan, you will have to go through Jericho. From Shittim to the land of Canaan, across the Jordan River, you had to go through Jericho. And so the Lord is telling Joshua, you possess the land. And now he's going to send two men to scout out the land, do a recon mission to see what the mindset of the people. And the reason why he chose two is very important. Because when you go back to Numbers, Numbers, I think that was 14. And this when Moses was still alive. And Moses sent 10 spies to go check out the land of Canaan. Okay? These men came back with a report. In verse number 13, verses 25, let's read this. It says, and at the end of 40 days, they returned from spying out the land. So it was Joshua, Caleb, and 8 other guys with them. And they came to Moses and Aaron and told all the congregation of the people of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Okay? So they checked out the land, and then they said this in verse 27. And they told him, we came to the land to which you sent us. It flows with milk and honey, and this is the fruit. However, the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. And beside, we we see the descendants of Anak. So they send giants. They send a lot of military folks in places fortified. They got watchmen. They looking at it and say it's impossible. It's impossible to take this land. But Caleb in verse 30, Caleb said, Caleb quieted the people before Moses said, let us go up at once and occupy it, for we are well able to overcome it. So Caleb was for it. The other spies, they wasn't. It says, verse 31, then the men who had gone up with him said, we are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger are, than we are. So they brought to the people of Israel a bad report of the land that they had spied out, saying, the land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that is devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are great height. So they were scared. They were scared to take the land. Caleb and Joshua were saying, we can get this land. And because of their disobedience, that the Lord had them stay in the wilderness for 40 days until there was a second, till the third and fourth generation that was faithful to go and possess the land. So we see here that the Lord is with them. The Lord is with Joshua. And Joshua's gonna send these 2 spies. So they will not so they cut out all the confusion that the people might murmur, speak against, or to avoid bad report. God is able to protect you when you consider the cost. Joshua is considering the cost. So what he's doing is making sure that what's going on, he's able to see what needs to be done in order to take the land of Jericho. This was a smart move that he decided to consider the cost in taking the land. Now the Lord is with him. God is protecting him. And it says that here in verse 1, it says, and they went and came into the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and they lodged there. Reason why Rahab is important is because of where she lived. Her house was on the wall. They would be able to go in and lodge there because her house was a tavern. Everybody went there. Merchants went there. Trade merchants went there. There was all people from across the nations, all over in that country. They would all go to Jericho, especially for the entertainment, because Rahab was a prostitute. So God is showing them, these two men, where to go. So they thinking, go to Rahab's house. It was the smart move to go because God is going to be with them through it all. They're gonna go to Rahab's house because at Rahab's house it was a place, it was a tavern. You can go there, all kind of people was there. You go to Rahab's house because there where all the information was at. That's where they would go spill the tea. That where the you can get the 411 of what's going on in the mindset of the people. You can see what the talk of the town was about. So they're doing recon mission. They checking out to see what's going on inside of Jericho. They had to go through there to see the mindset of the people. And this is good because at Rahab's house, it was an easy escape route. Her house was on the perimeter of the wall. Her house was facing the outward, away from the city interior. So they could either get out of a window and run if they needed an easy way to escape. And I like this because God is faithful. We can go to 1 Corinthians, First Corinthians, I think that's 10 and 13. All right, it says, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But where the temptation, he will also provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it. So you see that they is going in there. They're going to be tested. They're going to be tried. They could be scared, but they remain faithful to the mission. You know, when you're going through something, it's not to give up, but it's to trust in the Lord, knowing that in the time of trouble, He will give you a way of escape. Whatever issue you may be dealing with, He will either give you a way of escape or He'll give you the strength to endure it. And so in Joshua, the two men, they went to Rahab's house and they lodged there. And then it says here that the king heard about it, that they two men of Israel is searching out the land. The king sent to Rahab soldiers and said to her, bring them out. Bring them out who entered into your house, for they have come to search out the land. And then this is what Rahab said in verse 4. It said, but the woman had taken the two men and hidden them, and she said, true. The men the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. Verse 5. And when the gate was about to be closed at dark, the men went out. And I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you have overtaken them. For you will overtake them. So she sent them on a goose chase. She is trying to protect them. She wasn't lying, but she was using a discretionary tactic to protect the men. So God is protecting the men. God used Rahab to protect the men. And then we see here why. In verse 10. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and when you did and what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you devoted to destruction. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and they were no spirit, and there was no spirit left in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in the heavens above and the earth beneath. So look at this, y'all. She recognized what God is doing. She heard the report about the children of Israel, how God has delivered them, parted the Red Sea, how they defeated the two kings of the Amorites. And she ended up having faith to trust in the true and living God. That's why I say faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. Knowing that God is able to protect you, God is able to keep you in a difficult situation. Because see, Rahab, she could have lost her life too. Because she hid these men. And if the king and their soldiers have found out where they would have lost their lives, and she would have lost her life, and her family would have lost their lives as well. So that's why she hid them. That's why she protected them, because she believed in the true and living God. So she decided that I want to be saved. I want to be delivered from the wrath to come on Jericho. And so God protected her and her family through these two men. And God will protect you. Sometimes we don't know what God is doing. Sometimes we don't know the trials that we may endure. But God is able to keep, to protect, and to deliver. The two men kept a promise to her, and she became a woman of faith. And her is through the lineage that David would come, and when David would come, then Christ would come through his lineage. Rahab is a part of Christ's genealogy, his lineage. And she was a woman of faith that's why she hid them two men. Because they were doing a recon mission, but Christ has someone on the inside giving them what they needed to know and send back to Joshua so he would know how to go about taking over Jericho. And through the whole thing, God protected them. And God will protect you. And I want to show you one more thing. In Psalms 27, it says this: The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and my foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an enemy that though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. One thing have I asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He shall conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me up high up on a rock. And now my head should be lifted up above my enemies all around me. And I will offer in his tent sacrifice of joy. I will sing out and make melody to the Lord. The Lord will protect you. He will give you protection in the day of trouble, through the hard times, through the difficult times, during the stressful times, when you don't know what may be. He always know ahead of time. I remember when I was homeless and didn't have family to or friends to be there for me. And so one guy helped me, and it was my enemy from elementary all the way to middle school. I mean, we fought every day, pretty much. But he saw me on the street homeless, and he gave me some money and helped me out. And he told me to take care of myself, not knowing what God had planned or what God was going to do or how he was even going to deliver me. But I thank God today that I'm able to be a child of God, a believer in Christ, saved by his grace and his mercy. Because he can protect you beyond the gates. Whatever you're going through that's going on in your life that is beyond your gates. Okay, everybody got a gate that we go through every day. But God is able to keep you and protect you. And he loves you. And he wants you to know that he is able to do all things for you, even beyond the gates. So again, I thank everybody for coming on this morning. I pray for those that have lost loved ones over the week. I pray for those that are sick. I pray for those that are hurting. I pray for those that are struggling. And I pray that God will continue to keep you, strengthen you, and continue to bless you in the midst of everything you may be going through. So, yeah, I thank y'all for coming on this morning. Continue to study yourself and prove unto God that a workman need not be ashamed, but to rightly divide the word of truth, knowing that the bread of Christ needs no butter. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.